3
it was
minutes.
To be you, I think, at the library,
Yes.
and it ended up being
Till
him.
we
So I
change the
officially met
world.
him, and
Cool.
he did an awesome job. And
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
I had a class that night, so he
oh, cool.
he pinch hit.
Nice. Are you teaching or taking?
Taking.
Oh, neat.
Working on a
Turn up the
PhD.
sensitivity on
Oh,
your
cool.
mic somehow.
Nice.
I changed the mic. It's just a different mic.
That's why I can hear like everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a different mic. Look how fancy with green letters on
That's
this
the old
side
one,
and
isn't it?
everything.
Yeah, I had this one early on. I just, because people, well, a lot of women were complaining they can't see my face with the other one. And so I said, well, let me get a smaller profile one. And then...
It's because you keep putting it between your face and the camera.
I know. I'm trying to help everybody. But they're like, no, we need more.
Ringers off, please.
All right, ringers off, please.
Go
Can you
ahead
actually
and
turn
mute
mine
the
down a
mics.
little bit still? It's real loud. Still.
Let's start at the
That's
bottom.
good.
Okay, how about that? How about tell them, say when, say when, say when, say when, say when, say when.
That's
There, okay. Eric, you're still okay on yours?
Yep. Mute the
Okay.
mics, please.
Muting mics.
Unmute me!
Listen to me, you whining little whelp.
From the Gettysburg Tour Studio.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
All the DJs say this one's on its way.
You think I have something down with science?
Shut up!
You're listening to From Studio 1A.
The popular podcast addressing Gettysburg.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Grabbed and pulled and hurt my neck.
Addressing Gettysburg today.
There's no time. Hello, exactly.
Get out. Pretty cool.
Cool. Cool. Oh my God. I'm not. Here we go again.
Oh, I forgot to turn that on. Hi.
There you are. Hey, Matt.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I was so excited with the cam, whatchamacallit there.
You're still doing it.
Doing what?
Your microphone is directly between your face and your camera.
You're welcome. It's for you people out there. Rainy, Ronnie.
Yeah. It's been a little bit of a lousy day, right?
It's amazing how much
Sucks,
the
doesn't
weather
it?
just like puts me in a mood.
Me too. Me too.
It's awful. Awful.
Yeah.
I don't know why I live in the mid-Atlantic, because with the winter and all, and it's just terror. It's awful. I don't like it. I mean, I love it. What am I talking about? I love it here. I don't think I could. I mean, I couldn't last in the desert.
Right.
I'm afraid of scorpions and snakes.
South would be too hot during the summer. Way too hot.
Oh my
Way
God,
too hot.
it's miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Now, this time of year, I wouldn't mind it.
Right.
But,
You are old.
yeah. I know. I know. I'm thinking of going to the Keys.
There you go.
Because I'm old. Anyway, a lot of controversy last week from last week's show. Well, first of all, and it's good controversy. Good controversy.
Oh. Interesting.
Cam really, unwittingly hit it out of the park last week. People love Cam.
They do.
So I don't know how many emails or bumping into people this week that I've had where people are like, oh man, that was great with Cam on, and he was fantastic, and he doesn't know he's fantastic. Cam's just being Cam.
Cam, yeah.
And that's what's so charming about the kid, right? But people are like, oh, Cam, he's just wonderful. He's so funny, and he definitely cursed.
I am on Team Curse. I'm pretty sure we caught him.
I mean, I don't know how he could make the case that he didn't curse.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody could make the case that he didn't.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from anybody who's made the case that he didn't. But
I will say, when it happened real time, and knowing what I know about Cam, that he's so averse to swearing, I really gave him benefit of the doubt, and I thought he said ship.
Yes,
with a P.
I did too.
When it happened,
Right.
and then as soon as there was like this like terrified look on his face, and then he said, "I said shoot," and I'm like, "No, now you're the worst liar on top of it. Like it was nowhere near shoot." like we caught you, buddy. We got you.
Here we go. Yeah. Well, he not only so two things that he's like very guarded against doing himself is cursing and lying.
Yeah.
And in 2 sentences, he cursed and lied. He cursed and then he lied about it.
Yeah, it was a panic lie, but it was still a lie.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the kid with the chocolate chip cookie residue on his mouth. Like, oh, no, I didn't know. I didn't have the cookies, no.
But you could tell, too, that, like in his mind, he saw, I don't know who it was, maybe some teacher he might have had at one point when he was a kid, or someone who would have been disappointed in him for
Somebody
cursing.
in West Virginia is incredibly disappointed
Yes,
in Cameron now.
exactly. They were watching it and they're just like, oh, bless his heart, Cameron. Poor Cameron. Cursing like that. That's not the way we raise you. Look, we send you out into the world, you become a foul-mouthed West Virginia truck driver.
Let's be honest. Anybody who was going to be disappointed by that doesn't watch our show anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. But now his lovely lady.
Oh yeah.
Janelle.
Janelle. Yeah, that was it.
She was watching apparently.
I think I heard that she saw it afterward.
Oh, was she
Saw
disappointed?
it later that night. No, he
cracked
said
up.
she laughed, but she laughs very easily. That's what he likes.
Oh, yeah,
One of
yeah.
the things he likes about her is she's very down to earth and everything. But he said she took it really well and laughed throughout.
Now, I ain't saying you guys are funny, because she laughs at anything.
Right, that was a yes.
But she was a laughing.
Right.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Cam. Well, no, that's good. But now, so I thought, just to put it to rest, because it's not that there's so much of a debate out there. I mean, Cameron is the only one who's really engaging in the debate. 100 other people out of 100 other people said he cursed. But I thought maybe what we can do is actually listen to. I isolated his microphone.
Yes.
And we are going to now. Here it is at normal speed. Okay, here is the clip. Of course, you're going to hear our voices in the background. Mike Lentz was sitting right behind him, so Mike's voice is probably the most prevalent. But here it is.
Don't you dare start going through my Facebook photos. Oh shit!
It's a very, very hard T at the end of that.
Oh my god.
So. Now, see, that's the thing. It's a very hard T. You got it right?
You can't dance around that one.
No.
That's definitely a T at the end of that SHI.
But just in case he's going to try to say, no, it was a P, I said ship at the last minute. That's why. Now, listen close again.
Did you isolate the T?
There's a pause. Oh, but believe me, I've slowed this down. We have so many different versions
Every
of this.
once in a while, I'm proud of you. And this is one of those times.
Thank you, Daddy. So here, let's listen to it again.
Don't you dare start going through my Facebook photos. Oh shit!
What did he say?
I said shoot.
Bollocks.
Now listen to now. Before I ask, what did he say? He corrects
did say
himself.
shoot, yeah.
Okay, so listen again. Listen again.
Don't you dare start going through my Facebook photos. Oh shit!
What did he say?
I said shoot.
Yeah. So you.
Yeah.
All right, now.
Oh, please add that to the board.
Oh, it's already on there.
Thank you.
Now, at 50%, here we go.
Don't you dare start going through my Facebook photos. Oh shit!
Okay. It's getting clearer. Now let's go 100%
Very
speed.
clear.
Oh shit!
Like you can hear it.
What did he say?
You can hear him, like his mouth forming the T sound.
That's right.
The spittle's getting ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if you could see the waveforms when I was editing it, I showed this to you, right? Didn't I? When I'm editing it, the shit is a nice big wave, right?
Sure.
And then there's
A
just
spike.
there's no line. There's just a line, a flat line.
Oh.
Okay. Because he stops. So shit, flat line.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Oh shit!
Like he really enunciates that T at the end. Like he really meant it.
And then I love when you slow
Cameron,
it down.
you're caught.
When we slow it down, I love it because we all sound drunk in the background. Like,
Shit.
What did you say?
I said shit.
all right, and then here it is, just shit.
Man, that sounds really weird. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
when you slow it down, it gets all weird sounding. But anyway,
So the case is closed.
The case is closed. That's it. Here's Cameron. Now he's on the board. Here he is.
Oh, shit.
He actually sounds kind of devilish.
Yeah,
when you actually like break it down, I was like,
No,
oh,
he sounds
like,
he
yeah.
sounds evil almost, right? And
I said shoot. I said shoot.
Liar.
I said shoot.
The weird thing is, I don't even know what elicited that from, because he was talking about Facebook. We found his girlfriend. But then he said, "Don't start going through the pictures."
I was going to look for photos of him.
Don't you dare start going through my Facebook photos.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
I know.
But then,
Because I was starting to look for photos of him as the prom king.
oh,
Or the homecoming
that's right,
king. That's it.
right,
The homecoming
right.
king.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. And I guess
Don't you start going through my Facebook looking for photos.
That's right.
Don't you dare start going through my Facebook photos.
Oh, yeah.
So he kind of told on himself, like
Yeah,
he
he
was telling you where
absolutely
not to look, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Well, I
okay,
did
so
definitely go
that's
through
where
his
it sunk
Facebook,
in.
but I couldn't go back that far.
that's a long time.
There were a lot of pictures of trains, man, and I couldn't scroll that long. I got other things to do, like breathe.
Oh man.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, so we got that one. We have his boisterous laugh. And then we have him cracking up.
Oh my. Was that when we were making fun of him for the wheelbarrow thing?
That's funny right there.
Oh my god, it keeps going? Or are you replaying it?
No.
Oh my god.
It's a 30-second laugh.
Holy god.
And then he has some gibberish.
I'm not.
Oh, we had a lot of that though already.
Yeah.
And then
I have some of my own of that. So
Here we go again.
and then of course I said shoot.
I said shoot.
All right, so that's it with Cam there. So I think we've answered the question, did Cam curse? And the answer is absolutely yes, Cam has cursed.
100%.
All right, so by the way, I'd like to thank our patrons Jeffrey Jordan, Cal Stevens, Jim Oates, and Jessica Diaz for raising their pledge amounts last month. Didn't you know you could do that, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely, you can. So thank you to them. Also, I'd like to thank one of our patrons who's in the room here, Andy. He was kind enough. This is the second time he's done this. He's come up from Virginia, the Old Dominion state, and brought. Thank you, Cameron. Not Cameron.
Bummer.
These peanuts here. I'm sorry. Whoa, with the language, you. Oh,
he's our replacement Cam. He's our dollar store Cameron.
It's the poor man's Cam. Let's see. A new opening. The new opening song. Last week I said I forgot I didn't ask the name of the group, and it's Colin Southfield and the Mushroom Country Band, and the name of the song is Drive Time. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Follow them. They're very good. And that was they did that for us gratis. Just because Colin is a fan of the show, if you will. This past Monday, the Matt Booters Halloween Spectacular was released on the free feed, and our interview with Kent Masterson Brown about his latest book, Meet at Gettysburg, was released on Patreon. A lot of people like the Kent Masterson Brown interview.
what a nice guy.
He was really nice, really funny,
Yeah.
just very easy to talk to. which is nice. And I told him afterwards, I said, for a guy who always wears a bow tie, I wasn't sure if you were going to be stuffy or not, but you were really cool. So he was great to talk to. So if you want to listen to that show and other great content created exclusively for our patrons, go to patreon.com/addressing Gettysburg. Coming up this Monday on our free feed, Louis Trott goes into the Gettysburg connections to the Lincoln assassination, which was an early Patreon episode released on December 30th, 2019. And on Patreon, we have a new episode coming out with Mark Dunkelman on the 154th New York. So that is that. Other than that there, Ronnie, we're going to take a break. Our guests today are Pete Mealy from the Seminary Ridge Museum and Trey Zipperer, who had 82 ancestors who fought at the Battle of Gettysburg and does other things. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these words.
Show? Send an email to info@addressinggettysburg.com. Be sure to include the reason why you think you'd make a good guest when you write us.
The Giants marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give them a hearty welcome then, hurrah.
The season is finally here. 2021 is going to be a great year, and we know that you're going to come down to Gettysburg. And when you do come down to Gettysburg, you got to take a tour with Getty's Bike Tours. Getty's Bike Tours has been in business since 2005. It is the best way to see the battlefield. Why? Because you don't just see the battlefield, you experience the battlefield. Our tours are led by some of the finest licensed battlefield guides out there, and they make sure that you walk away with a full understanding of what happened here on those 3 days in 1863. Here's the best part. Because you're an Addressing Gettysburg listener, you're going to get 15% off when you make your reservation. Now, this discount only applies to tours, so go to gettysbike.com or call 717-752-7752 and book a tour today. There's no better way to see the town you're visiting than to eat your way through it. And there's no better way to eat your way through this town than with Savor Gettysburg food tours. Enjoy a culinary and cultural experience through historic downtown Gettysburg, one delicious bite at a time. Their season runs from April through November with the special Christmas Tastes and Traditions walking food tour during the month of December. So go to SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com and enter promo code AG2021 to receive $5 off your tour. Eat, walk, get a taste of history with Savor Gettysburg. Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. And Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Getty's Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207. Gettysburg, a nation-divided mobile app is relaunching this summer. Gettysburg: A Nation Divided is an award-winning mixed reality mobile application using augmented reality technology. It transports users into the most crucial moments in the Battle of Gettysburg, the turning point of the Civil War. Users can listen and watch historic figures share their stories as lifelike animated avatars, traverse 360-degree image sequences of the battlefield. Its cinematic battle sequences are narrated by actor Scott Eastwood. The mobile app is available for free on iOS and Android. It's designed to be used anywhere, at home, at school, at the park, or at Gettysburg National Military Park. It uses GPS to help guide you through your journey to see the stories and events unfold at the exact location where they occurred. So go into your phone's app store and get it now for free. That's Gettysburg: A Nation Divided.
Sprayed with potassium sorbate to prevent mold growth. You're back with Matt and Veronica.
All right. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Unmute me!
Why? I'm interviewing Pete now. Pete Mealy from the Seminary Ridge Museum is here to talk about a special event that they have going on the, the 4th through the 5th, right?
4th through the 5th, yeah, both
is
days.
A 24-hour event.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the purpose of it? What is it for?
Yeah, so every year, Adams County Community Foundation has their annual giving spree, a day of giving to nonprofits in Adams County. We are a part of it for the 4th year in a row. And this year, we were looking for something different, something that would celebrate us, celebrate nonprofits in Adams County. And at a brainstorming meeting, somebody... Well, it was Rob Williams. I'm going to give him the credit and the blame. He's probably listening. He blurted out, "Why don't we just stay open for 24 hours?" Because originally I was going to sleep in the cupola if we raised $10,000. I was going to spend the night, and
regardless of weather.
And if we raised $20,000, I was going to do it on Christmas.
Oh God!
Wow.
The worst part of that is that the bathroom is 4 floors below us. So anyway, but Rob said. Nobody's going to care if you spend the night in the cupola.
Right.
And I said, you're probably right. And I sat around for a few more minutes, and he said, why don't we just stay open 24 hours and get people to come and
do things. Yeah.
And have speakers and performers. And I said, yeah, let's do it.
It's a great idea. No, yeah. So what are some of the things that are going to be on the schedule?
Yeah, so probably the most interesting thing is a midnight cupola tour.
Yes.
So, of course, the crown jewel of the museum, of crown jewel of Gettysburg, is the cupola. And if you want to be there, say that you stood in the cupola at midnight. Here's your chance.
So, how are you going to do that? Because you can only take so many people up there at once, right?
So it's going to be an exclusive thing.
Yeah.
It's the whole purpose of this, in addition to celebrating the museum and celebrating Gettysburg, is really to raise money for the museum.
Right.
This is a fundraiser event at its heart to help, as visitation wanes in the winter, and we have to continue to care for the building and care for artifacts and everything. This is what the money is going to.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, you can come and so we're going to have. First come, first serve. You make a donation that night, or you can call ahead of time and make a donation. You can get on the list for the sunrise. It's going to be a sunset, sunrise, and midnight cupola tours.
So Eric and I are going. What are we doing? 9 to 9 or 8 to 8 or
9 to 8.
9 to 8.
Yeah.
9 to 8. That night, obviously. Because you're showing the movie from midnight to 4.
Yeah.
Man, now I'm going because the challenge for me is to not fall asleep.
And we got some hard benches.
Oh, do
so
you?
Bring a pillow.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And we just realized that. Rob said the other day, it's like, who's going to sit on those benches and watch the movie for 4 hours? And I said, you know what? That's their problem. Bring a pillow.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Good to know.
Yeah.
Because this body is old and rickety. So, I'm only 43, but the doctor says it's amazing you have the body of a 73-year-old.
No.
So, yes.
Congratulations.
I'm very proud of that.
Yes.
I've always been more mature than everybody else my age. So, what else? Okay, so now you had the itinerary there, didn't you?
Yep.
What? So the movie's going from 12 to 4.
Yep.
Well, thanks for opening it to the page.
And I'm happy to provide a commentary on the movie now that I've been up for how many hours. You're going to hear me talking about the movie by about 4 o'clock in the morning.
So that's it. So after the movie, once we wake up, then you're going to host a post-film discussion.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
It is. We can drink a bunch of coffee and talk about the movie.
Would you like one of the people from the movie to be there?
Oh, we could do that.
I might be able to do that for $10,000.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're a nonprofit.
I might be able to do that for free.
Yeah.
Well, you get people to donate $10,000.
We're more or less a nonprofit, too.
I'll show you my bank account. Okay, so you're going to, that's November 4th through the 5th, starting at what time?
So 5 o'clock on November
5 p.m.
4th. We usually close at 5 o'clock. We're just not going to close. And the event starts at 5 o'clock. So after 5 o'clock, admission is free, donations appreciated. All the money that we make after 5 o'clock on November 4th is going to go right to this.
Right to the whole shebang there.
Yep.
And anybody can go.
Yep.
You don't have to register ahead of time.
Nope.
Just show on up at any time and just see it. That's going to be fun. I think that's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be fun too. And we're getting a popcorn machine to watch the movie.
Yeah. Will there be food and refreshments?
Yeah. So light refreshments, popcorn machine, soda, water,
BYOB. No B.
No B.
Oh, okay.
No B. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
BYOD. Drinks.
Yes.
Yeah. Soft drinks.
No,
I had a question and I lost it. Damn it.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say to everybody that if you haven't had a chance to check out the museum yet, this is a great opportunity to do it. You know, some people say, oh, well, I work, and when I get off of work, they're closed. And okay. And then, and I can't do it on the weekend because the kid's got soccer.
No excuse.
Well, there's no excuse now because this is after soccer. This is after work.
It's before work,
It's
too.
before. That's right. It's between the end of work and the beginning of work. And you can get out there and have, what day does that fall on?
It's a Thursday night.
To a Friday.
Okay. Right.
So so that's a great opportunity to go see because people can mill about the museum, right?
Yeah,
it's not just everybody be where something is going on.
The whole building is going to be open, and we're going to set up a space on our second floor, and that's where the performances are going to be, the speakers, and the whole building is going to be open, and we're going to do a candlelit tour. If you've been there before, you know our third floor is our hospital floor.
Yes, my favorite floor.
My favorite floor too, and. At I forget what time, but in the evening and in the morning, we're going to do a candlelit tour of the third floor.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll cheat since I'm looking 10 to 10:45 in the evening, and then 6 to 6:45 in the morning.
I want everybody to share in the experience that I have of going into the building at 2 o'clock in the morning when I get a call because there's a bat flying around. So I don't want to keep that experience to myself. I want you all to take part in that.
Great. So there's a chance we might see some bats.
We haven't had one come in a while, but it has been known to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Well, Pete, we'll have to have you come back on the show to talk about some other stuff and more in depth.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for coming on. Good luck with it. We'll see you on the 4th.
Thank you.
And I hope a lot of our listeners will come out and participate in that as well. Because,
I hope so too.
Because it's a cool thing to do. And, charity, all that stuff. And then you also get to see this really cool museum and take that candlelight tour of the hospital floor.
And
that's
the last thing I'll say is I don't want this to be a one and done. I want this to become a thing that happens,
an annual
thing, and that we can build up over time. So if you already have plans for 4 o'clock in the morning on November 5th, and you just can't break those plans, you can plan for next year.
Yeah. Okay. Well. It's very good. All right. Well, we'll see you on the 4th. And thanks for coming in. And let's get to our next guest, who is Trey Zipperer. And Trey is an interesting guy. He's just moving into the microphone here. First of all, so he emailed me a while back, and he said that he has 82 ancestors who fought at the Battle of Gettysburg. I can't find one ancestor who was in the goddamn war, and he has 82 that were in the Battle of Gettysburg alone. But he also cleans veteran headstones. around the world. So let's now that he's here, let's talk about that. Welcome to the show, Trey.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. I don't have a sex tape, so I figured I would come on Addressing Gettysburg as a way to draw attention to my cause of cleaning veteran headstones.
A lot of people say that coming on this show does about the same for your career as a sex tape, so this works perfectly.
And you're a star maker. I mean, I heard you got Stephen Lang the part in Gettysburg.
No.
No, that's not how it works?
You misunderstood.
Oh, okay.
I got Stephen Lang the part in a video that I took of him out on the battlefield in public during the July 4th.
Maybe a Sam Elliott, one of those guys.
Well, Sam Elliott, he, very kindly did this. Wait, hold on a second. I could play a little something that we had him do here. He did this.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
So,
I know. That's what I'm talking about. You made him famous.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm turning him on to a whole new generation of old people. Because everybody that listens is mostly older than me. So, but anyway, thanks for coming on. Thanks for contacting us.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity again.
Now, tell us, well, first of all, let's get into the ancestors.
Sure.
82 in one battle.
82 in one battle.
North, south, both?
All south.
All south.
Listen to my voice.
I figured.
South.
But you did have one relative who was from New Hampshire, but he married a Georgia gal?
Yes. So I'm trying to figure out how to research my northern ancestors. They're not on fold3.com, which is a website everybody needs to know about. That's where you find the muster rolls of all of our American veterans.
Fold3.
Fold3.com, owned by Ancestry.com.
Uh-huh.
It's a package deal. So you get an Ancestry.com subscription, so you can build your tree, and they own findagrave.com, they own fold3.com, they own newspapers.com, which goes into my entire issue of how I learn about the veterans that we are honoring with a clean headstone. I use those sites to research them and tell their stories about what their experiences were.
Now, how's that work? Do you have to have a membership for each, or can you get one membership that covers all?
It's one membership. It's a bundle.
Okay.
It's not inexpensive, but it's priceless for what you learn about your family. It all started, the veteran headstone cleaning started here at Gettysburg at the high water mark of the Confederacy, down there at the angle.
Go into that. How did you start doing the cleaning?
This was spring of 2017. I was trying to determine how could I get my daughter more interested in American history. I mean, American history can be kind of, just dates and names. And so as I stood there on the battlefield, walked out there at sunset, and I thought, I wonder if one of our family members, one of our grandfathers was here at Gettysburg, whether they were in, gray or blue. Maybe they were with Joshua Chamberlain at Little Round Top. Maybe they were one of those 12,000 Southern men that stepped out in shoulder-to-shoulder formation to cross that mile open field. But my grandmother actually was in genealogy. She did a lot of research. She was a colonial dame. She was a daughter of the American Revolution, and she was a daughter of the Confederacy. So I knew that I had at least one family member that had been in the Civil War, but I wasn't sure if they were at Gettysburg.
Right.
So I went over to the visitor center first thing in the morning. I was so excited. I took my daughter over there, went to the guest desk, and I said, "Hey, Ranger, I'd like to see the list of the soldiers that fought here at Gettysburg. I want to see if my grandfather's name's on there." He said, "We don't have a list." I'm like, in 154 years, you guys don't have a list? I mean, are you freaking kidding me? Seriously, you don't have a list? So he sends me over to some volunteer desk, and she says, here, let me get into fold3.com. And there he was. He was making shoes in Columbus, Georgia.
Okay, what was his name?
His name was Jimpsy Giddens.
Jimpsy?
Jimpsy, yes.
Jimpsy.
Jimpsy. Jimpsey. Jimpsy.
Where do they get names like that?
I have no idea.
In the South in the mid-19th
century. Middle name Bird. Yeah.
Jimpsy Bird.
Jimpsy Bird.
Wow.
Yeah, so Jimpsy Bird was making shoes in Columbus, Georgia, while his 50th Georgia Infantry Regiment was here on the field at Gettysburg. And I thought, oh my gosh, my grandfather landed at Normandy, okay? So I lived in the shadow of a giant. I mean, he landed at Utah Beach, 2 Purple Hearts, Bronze Star. And so my grandfather, to have been in the 50th Georgia and not been at Gettysburg, he's making shoes? I think you guys have these battlefield licensed tour guides that are here, and we went on a horseback ride that afternoon across the battlefield, and as we were coming home to the corral, he said, and as the Confederate armies left Gettysburg, half of them were barefoot. And I mean, a light bulb went on top of my head. That's what he was doing in Columbus, Georgia, making shoes.
Ah,
yes.
So he was supporting the war effort. He just wasn't. He was
Robert E. Lee. They didn't have shoes. They were there was a blocking of every port of the blockade was keeping any type of European goods. They couldn't import shoes, so you need to have shoes for your soldiers. So I guess he ordered 2 members of each company to go south to shoe factories, and they made their own shoes for the Army. That's how determined they were.
So you have a lot. Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 in the 50th Georgia alone.
In the 50th Georgia alone, yes.
And we also have the 53rd Georgia, the 61st Georgia, 7th Georgia, 9th Georgia, 11th Mississippi.
11th Mississippi made it all the way to the wall. There's a monument right there at that stone wall of the 11th Mississippi.
Yeah, and let's see.
That was my first cousin.
Wounded and captured on July 3rd. But then wounded the 27th February 1865 near Petersburg. So he was wounded, got out, recovered.
Yes, not only do I hold the record for the most family members that fought at Gettysburg, I also have the most that were surrendered at Appomattox. So interesting statistic, it takes 6 soldiers that you must find in your tree before you can find one of those that fought at Gettysburg.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked at that.
So why is your family so big?
Well, they were all here before the Revolution, so they go back to 1631, 1634. I had no idea when I stepped out on Gettysburg that day anybody other than my grandmother had a few things going on with her family tree, but I didn't understand it, didn't know it. And when I wondered if I had any family members in America that were here for the Civil War, let alone in the Civil War. They were all here in the Revolution.
You also had 2nd Florida, 5th Florida, and 8th Florida.
Yes, I'm from Florida. So my one of my first ancestors, Florida became a territory in the United States 1821, and he stepped over the border 1822. So my family goes back 10 I'm a 9th generation Floridian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. And then let's see here. What's the highest rank? It looks like lieutenant colonel. I see a lieutenant colonel there. You know, off the top of your head, the highest rank that.
Not most of them are just ordinary citizen soldiers. I don't have anybody famous in my tree. They're all extraordinary, but it's a fascinating adventure, and it's something that I recommend everyone do, because what'll happen is when you find out who your people are, then you get a chance to research what were they doing, why were they participating in this. I've already found 44 grandfathers that were patriots in the American Revolution. Those are the ones I've found. Statistically, I'll have over 120. So when you're able to see your name of your grandfather on a granite plaque at a Revolutionary War battlefield, it's amazing.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so...
now, the other thing you do, the grave cleaning, so you said that started here, and you do it around the world.
We do it around the world. Actually.
Who's we?
Well, it's just me really promoting, raising awareness about the condition of our veteran headstones in America. So I do videos about how to properly clean them, what the condition of headstones are in each state. Like I have one for Pennsylvania here, And so the folks will watch my video, then they go out in their local cemetery and they confirm what I'm telling them, which is our veteran headstones are covered in black algae and filth.
Right.
It's despicable. It's disgusting. We're used to our national cemeteries where they're in perfect white rows, pristinely maintained. But every veteran has the benefit of a free headstone, a veteran headstone, the exact same that they put up at Arlington, and they'll put that in your local hometown cemetery. The problem is there's no system to maintain those cemetery headstones in the local burial grounds.
What is like? How do you clean them? Do you have to use special chemicals? Do you not use chemicals?
They use a product called D2 biological solution, which has an active
I have
ingredient.
some in my car.
Yeah, everybody's got some of that. The active ingredient is a quaternary ammonium compound. I had no knowledge of any of this 23 months ago. Let me tell you.
Of course.
But when you want to learn how to do it properly, when your city rejects your request to clean veteran headstones and accuses you of trespassing in the cemetery because you won't give up, and then they want to know what the official protocol for cleaning them is, and you contact the National Cemetery Administration to only find out there is no protocol. I had to lobby the National Cemetery Administration to create a protocol on how do they maintain those stones so perfectly in the national cemeteries. And they were pretty amazing, actually. They produced the document, a federal government document, for me in 4 months. 4 months. And I thought that was like light speed.
Yeah, and can so anybody can do this, right? Anybody can go and clean.
Anybody can do this. In the protocol that they provided for me, they specifically state in the opening paragraph that these government-furnished headstones and grave markers remain federal property. So important because so many cemeteries and municipalities believe that headstones are private property and that they're scared to death of liability of cleaning a headstone because, you know, God forbid some family member shows up 115 years after a veteran dies and says, "Who cleaned this headstone? I want to know now. Right. Bring him to me."
Right. We want great-grandpappy to have a dirty headstone.
Yes, I want a dirty headstone. You'd be surprised. The first cemetery this whole thing started at, that's what he told me. He said some family members want them to look like that.
Because they look old.
He just didn't get it. He just didn't understand that we have a protocol in America that we maintain our veteran graves respectfully, properly. I was just at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier this week.
Yeah.
This year is the 100th anniversary of our Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Oh, and by the way, I won't curse, but a bird poo-pooed on my head while I was filming my video.
They said that's good luck. So
Yeah.
You're fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, be happy about it.
So I didn't say the S word. It was poo-pooed on my head.
Funny. Trey, where can someone go to find information that you're putting out there?
YouTube is my platform. My channel is Honor Your DNA. If you go to YouTube and you just search for veteran headstone cleaning or headstone cleaning, right. I am now the world ambassador for veteran headstone cleaning, apparently, because when you search the internet, you'll see me like 10, 15 times.
Nice.
Right.
Owen?
There you go.
As the clapper, you have failed today.
It's about to be fired. Honor Your DNA.
Oh, okay, he's looking it up. Sorry.
The website, though, that's just the channel that I have on YouTube. My organization is by Memorial Day. So I tried to get all the veteran headstones cleaned by Veterans Day in 2019. But they held me off until I had to light them up on NBC News, my local station, and Facebook. And within 7 minutes, the mayor was sending they said it was a fax. That's kind of old school. But NBC called me and said that we just got a fax from the mayor that he's going to let you clean headstones on Saturday because they had a crisis on their hands.
Where was this?
This is Fort Myers, Florida.
Fort Myers, Florida.
Yep.
Okay. And so is that what you recommend if you try to go and do that in your local cemetery? And you're not talking national cemeteries. You're talking regular old cemeteries.
Regular cemeteries. We have hundreds of thousands of cemeteries in America. The cemeteries for national cemeteries, I think it's 155, and they maintain about 3.4 million graves, and they do a wonderful job there. But when they ship out a headstone to a local cemetery anywhere USA, it arrives in a wooden crate with no set of instruction. It just shows up, and they have to figure out what to do with it. How do we set this stone? There's no instructions. That's why they're sinking, they're leaning, they're falling. And then there's no instruction on how to maintain them, so nobody knows what to do, so they do nothing. And now we have veteran headstones covered in filth so thick you can't read their names. And when you scrub off that filth and you see the year 1944, he was 19 years old, you know he was killed in France, or the latest one was killed in Peleliu.
So you do get pushback from local authorities or something.
You do. You get pushback. It's really unbelievable. The next county that I went after near my county, they said, well, you need to talk to the county commissioner because he's a veteran and he'll support what you're doing because our hands are tied. We're with you, but we just can't do it because
who's stopping you, though?
County attorneys, city attorneys that are so risk averse that
So now, are you asking permission to do this?
Yes, we asked permission to do this.
Well, you never do that. You always ask forgiveness.
Well, but we're trying to do a national movement to get this done, and so I want to stay on the right side of the law, and so we asked for permission, and he said, I'll get to the bottom of this, and he called me back 2 days later. He said, I'm really sorry to tell you, but we can't give you permission to clean the headstones.
And this is a... county cemetery?
This is a county.
But who owns the cemetery?
The county.
The county does.
Some cemeteries, the county owns them. Some cemeteries are church cemeteries.
Right.
Some are owned by private individuals. Some are owned by cities.
Right.
And if a cemetery is abandoned, most state laws is that the maintenance of that cemetery falls on the county in which that cemetery is located. So what happens is there's no budget for this, and they'll just mow it. That's it. There's barely just to get by.
And you're not asking to be paid for this. You're doing it
we don't get paid for this.
Right.
There's no funding. The National Cemetery Administration gets $720 million a year. My budget this year, I think donations $3,000 or $4,000. Kind people that'll send a little money here and there. It's just there's no money in this. It's just about heart. It's about American patriotism and pride and bringing us back together as a country again, where it doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your political views. If you wear the uniform, by God, you deserve a clean headstone in perpetuity. And it's our job as Americans to do that. It's not the government's job. It's not the Boy Scouts' job. It's not the VFW's job. But they did the dadgum work. You know?
Right.
So that's another thing. People think, oh, well, why doesn't the American Legion do that? Well, it's because they're the less than 1% that did the work and put their life on the line. How about the other 99%? Show some appreciation.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Now he does it. Yeah. So people want to maybe contact you. How would they do that?
ByMemorialDay.com is the website where you can watch some of my videos to teach you how to do this properly. We got a link to the protocol issued by the National Cemetery Administration. And there's a donate page if anybody would like to contribute to what we're doing. What brought me to Gettysburg here is there's a Civil War show going on here in Gettysburg. And so I have a booth set up there. If anybody'd like to come out to the Civil War show.
Everybody's stealing my news today. I'm not going to.
So I've got a booth there, and you can come see banners of dozens of headstones of men killed in action that are so filthy.
Where's the show going to be?
It's at the Eisenhower.
Down at the Eisenhower. So if you're in town this weekend, down at the Eisenhower. I'm sure Veronica will cover it in her news later. But we've got to get going now.
Right.
So thank you very much for coming on, Trey. Check out his stuff, and we'll be right back after these words. Thanks, Trey.
Have something to add to the conversation? Give us a call at 717-420-1978 and get in the queue.
Well, the 2021 season is over, but that doesn't mean you can't get a jump on next season. In fact, Getty's Bike Tours will reward those who do so with a 15% discount. All you got to do is book a tour for 2 people or more between now and March 31st of 2022, and you'll receive 15% off your tour. So call 717-752-7752 and book today. Discount only applies to tours. Experience the magic of Christmas in Gettysburg. Stroll decorated streets on a festive walking food tour highlighting the sights, sounds, and unique tastes of this historic town. Enjoy stops at some of the best eateries, all while learning fascinating facts about early Christmas traditions. Admire the glittering lights, decorated storefronts, and our grand 30-foot Christmas tree in Lincoln Square, all adding to the ambiance of the most wonderful time of the year. Get started on Christmas shopping for your loved ones as we visit a few downtown stores that offer one-of-a-kind Christmas gifts. A perfect opportunity for any last-minute gift hunting you need to get done. Enjoy a private holiday tour through the Shriver House with dessert in the Shriver Saloon. This special tour will transport you back in time to Christmases of yesteryear. So make a new Christmas tradition with your family and friends. The Christmas Tastes and Traditions Food Tour promises to be delicious, delightful, and decidedly local. Go to SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com and book your tour today. That's SavorGettysburgFoodTours.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. Isn't it, Eric?
You're darn tootin', Matt.
It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more books to choose from.
But Matthew, what if the Civil War is simply not my thing?
Not a problem, my fine four-fendered friend. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books.
It's astounding how they squeeze thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more into their store.
And it's also astounding how you and I both squeeze into our pants every day. Well, handsome, they have a warehouse too, and that's where they keep all those books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs.
What if I prefer to browse in the store and don't want to go online to get my books?
Great question, Doodlebug. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, stop by 42 York Street, or call 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
Need a Corps badge or other insignia for your uniform? Then check out the Badge Maker. Here's what some of his satisfied customers had to say. Miranda said, I ordered an identification disc from Joe and it's fantastic. He hand stamped it exactly as I wanted. It has a great rough on-campaign feel to it and was reasonably priced to boot. Greg said, my unit has purchased from him in the past. Quality badges and good service. And Jerry S. says, the Badge Maker is the go-to place for accurate replica Civil War badges. Visit CivilWarCorpsBadges.com and attach a message with your order saying you heard about him on Addressing Gettysburg.
Audiobook narrator Mike Scott. When selecting your next audiobook, choose from some of the great titles narrated by audiobook narrator Mike Scott, like Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864. If you're an author or publisher interested in having your written works produced as audiobooks, give Mike a shout at MikeScottVoice.com. Mike Scott, the voice of history. And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit CivilWarTrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
Are you planning on spending some time in Gettysburg soon? Well, you should. So check out GettysburgBattlefieldTours.com as your source for things to do. Tickets are available for exclusive experiences such as the Sunset Double-Decker Battlefield Tour, Adams County Port Tour Shuttle, and Discoveries Beyond Gettysburg. For details, follow them on Facebook or visit GettysburgBattlefieldTours.com.
Gettysburg, A Nation Divided mobile app is relaunching this summer. Gettysburg, A Nation Divided is an award-winning mixed reality mobile application using augmented reality technology. It transports users into the most crucial moments in the Battle of Gettysburg, the turning point of the Civil War. Users can listen and watch historic figures share their stories as lifelike animated avatars, traverse 360-degree image sequences of the battlefield. Its cinematic battle sequences are narrated by actor Scott Eastwood. The mobile app is available for free on iOS and Android. It's designed to be used anywhere, at home, at school, at the park, or at Gettysburg National Military Park. It uses GPS to help guide you through your journey to see the stories and events unfold at the exact location where they occurred. So go into your phone's app store and get it now for free. That's Gettysburg, A Nation Divided.
What's up, everybody? It's Pat McGuire, co-host of the History Things podcast. Co-host Matt Borders and I offer a fresh new podcast taking on some of the most famous as well as some of the most unheard of stories from U.S. and world history. Always conversational and approachable, we take the deep dives that you want into history, as well as exploring the rabbit holes that you didn't even ask us to. New episodes every quarter with follow-up episodes roughly 30 to 40 days afterwards. Download the History Things podcast on most major podcast apps, including Apple Podcast, Google Play, Spotify, and by asking your Amazon Alexa smart device to play the History Things podcast. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the History Things podcast. As always, thanks for listening. Now back to the show.
Oh, shit.
Immerse yourself in the magic and mystique. You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg today.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, my.
Anyway, we're back, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
what was that show that was on in the 90s with Tim Allen? He was like
Home Improvement.
Yeah, Home Improvement. You got like a Wilson thing going on, this whole show.
Maybe I need to move the camera like over a bit there or something. I don't know. You know what? People don't need to see me. That's the thing. They're I'm doing them a favor.
You still do it? Yeah.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Such a dork.
what were we talking about? Oh, so
Did you remember what you were going to say in the last segment?
Oh man, I completely forgot to switch cameras too. I was so like.
Oh, we were up there. Oh,
so enamored with you
the audience
completely
didn't even
covering your face.
Audience didn't even know what we were talking about.
There, you can see it now, guys.
I don't remember what we were what I was going to say before. Here, you know what I could do? I could do it like this. I can change this like that, and then I can go like this, and then I can go here, and I can go like that. Okay.
Oh, look at you go.
So, we had a card. I got this card in the mail from one of our listeners.
Ooh.
The Pope. The Pope sent us a Halloween card.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dear Matt, Eric, and Veronica.
What is he?
I love... Because the Pope is Dracula.
He sounds like the Count.
Yes. Exactly.
One
happy podcast. Two happy podcasts.
Two body of Christ.
Guys. Oh, Kathy's head's exploding
Kathy.
right now.
Oh, this is sacrilegious right here.
We're all Catholic anyways.
Yeah, but we're right. We're going to hell. We're bad Catholics.
Oh, by the way, she had a correction on the Matt Borders Halloween
What?
special. So purgatory in the Catholic Church is not a holding zone between heaven and hell. It's if you earned hell, right?
If
you
you're
earned
into hell.
You go bam. Like there's no.
Oh, you mean if you're going into hell?
Right. Purgatory is kind of like the holding area for heaven alone. It's not
if
that
you died with
God's-
venal sins on your soul.
Right. I remember that
and
word.
I think Matt said something about like it's basically a holding cell, almost implying like that God's still deciding your fate at that point. No. You definitely haven't gone to hell. You're not going to hell. You
Well,
haven't.
But my
you
question
are
is,
going-
As I understand it, purgatory no longer exists.
It doesn't exist anymore.
But when you were
in the old
talking
days,
about
yeah.
when you were talking about the history of
My question though on that whole purgatory thing was like, he's God. He doesn't know what he's going to do with you.
Right. I think, with free will and everything, right, there's like in theory, people down here are still praying for your soul, praying for, you to be going to heaven. If you didn't earn it on your own, and I'm not using the proper terminology. I
Sure,
get it.
yeah.
Kathy, take it easy, take a breath. Yeah. But, because I know I'm going to get flack.
Have a sip of wine, Kath.
Take another shot.
Yeah. But the concept is like, if you're in purgatory, you're kind of waiting to like earn up the graces of people down here that are praying to go. Like, so God knows you're going there. It's not like you're going to infinitely be in purgatory. It's just a matter of.
So
you gotta wait until you got enough tickets.
Yeah,
and then you go to the counter and be like, "Here's 5,000 tickets."
This sounds like something to me that the old Catholic Church created so that they can bilk people for money and say,
Sure,
well, no, we've got to
prayers
pray to
and-
get those souls in purgatory up to heaven.
Well, remember he was mentioning about
there
the
goes the
little
Catholic
kids.
audience.
With, like, yeah.
They say what?
No limbo. Purgatory is still a thing. No limbo. Limbo.
I
Is
thought
for
limbo was purgatory.
No, it isn't limbo for the kids, the children that haven't.
Oh,
been.
and that's
or maybe
another
I
thing.
don't know. I'm sure I'll get a text message.
The little
here.
children, that die. You
Yeah,
just
I
need
don't
to-
know.
You know what? I'll work on getting a priest. We'll get a priest in here and they can explain it.
Okay, I would love that. I actually, yeah. I would love to.
I'm not going to do that.
Oh, well, that would be good. I would love it if you did that. Dear Matt, Eric, and Miss Lovely Veronica is what it says. It says it right there. Look at that. You see that?
No, there was a point.
No, right where my finger is.
Right
see it? Miss Lovely Veronica.
Oh, I do.
There will never be enough words to express how grateful we are to all of you for everything you do. You are fun, entertaining, just all around wonderful. We appreciate the way you share your friendship with everyone. We hate each other. The three of us hate each other.
Pretty much. It's all a show. It's literally a show here.
This is purely political. Most importantly is the way all of you share your input, love, and enthusiasm for history and Gettysburg. Your content is beyond what? Oh, your content is beyond what we ever expected. We look forward to more to come. The new Get Out of the Car tour season can't come soon enough. Really, I could just sing your praises all day, but I realize, quote, there is no time. LOL. Take care. God bless, and hope to see you around the battlefield soon. And this is love and prayers from Glenn and Estella.
Aww,
so that's very nice. Thank you very much for that. We're going to hang it on the wall. And I also have another listener email here that I'd like to share with all of you. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to call in, Trae is still here. If you have any questions, we could pull him back over to the microphone, or if you want to talk about something else, or if you want to weigh in on Cameron cursing, whatever, just call in if you'd like. We'd like to hear from you and whatnot. Let's go to this listener email here. Hello, Matt. Parentheses. About halfway through this, you'll probably hear General Lee say, there is no time. So a lot of people love that line of General Lee. Love the show. I have a job that allows me to listen while I work, but does it allow you to whistle while you work? And while most of my coworkers listen to music, I listen to audiobooks, usually history related, but books tend to get expensive, and someone recommended podcasts with which I had no experience whatsoever. So I started searching, and I found ones that interested me and were pretty good, and found ones that I couldn't even make it through one episode. I listened to a book about Pickett's Charge, and then Audible suggested I try addressing Gettysburg, which I thought to myself that I'd see what it was like for one episode.
Thanks, Audible.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't know Audible did that.
Yeah.
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
No, I don't listen to Audible.
I listened to the 158th anniversary of Pickett's Charge with Matt Atkinson. I loved it and decided to keep listening. When I heard the episode with Tracy Bear on Lee's Wagons of Wounded, you got a loyal listener. But I decided, but I didn't decide to become a member, this is a patron, until hearing Sue Boardman talk about the cyclorama.
Hey.
I was one strange 10-year-old because I was fascinated back then with the painting. Little did I know how horrible my viewing experience was. I now need to come back and see it in all its glory. It was a fantastic episode, especially the part about Jenny Wade. I swear I thought I was the only person who couldn't understand the hype. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you understand the hype? What?
Yes.
All right. Well,
no, that's not the hype, but I mean, you know.
What? What? I didn't decide to become a member for all the perks. Mainly, and there are so many perks, ladies and gentlemen. Mainly because, and I'm going to start to add some more perks. I just have to. That's a couple of weeks from now. Mainly because I don't really understand what I get with the membership. This I find to be a very Patreon needs to make their app and even their website just a little bit more easy to understand, because people, and more easy isn't a word, easier to understand.
There it is.
Thank you. Because
just let him go.
I caught it myself.
Hey, words am hard, man.
Yes,
am hard.
Yes, they is. But really. So anyway, I signed up for as much as I could afford at this point because I really do enjoy what you do. I would have spent far more on books and learned far less and enjoyed even less. If my membership helps you continue this, then I believe it is money well spent. You guys do a great job and make information that could be boring as hell fun to listen to. Your experts are also great. Go ahead, Owen. You just do it. You don't have to. Your experts are also. Your experts are also great, and the best part about them is that they aren't afraid to admit that they don't know everything. So please keep up the good work, and I'm sure I will let you know why Gettysburg and send more messages periodically. Thank you, Eric Kirchmar, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You're welcome, Eric. Thank you very much for all of that, all the kind words, and for listening and becoming a patron and all that jazz as well.
Veronica Brzezinski, Esquire, has the scoop.
I must have all possible information.
All right, Veronica. It is now what?
News first?
Oh, my God. How often do we have to go through?
Because it says what's going on and it throws me off. That's like events to me, not like what happened in
First of all, I want to get a banner printed. And whenever we start this, like, you remember those old pop guns in the cartoons where, like,
yes,
they pull the trigger and it had the bang? Yeah, I'm going to get one of those, but it's going to say news first.
Is this less confusing for you?
It fell off.
I don't see how that would be any less confusing.
It's time for all that's going on in Gettysburg. Here's
No, see,
AG
to
today's
me, that's
lead anchor
events.
Veronica Brzezinski.
That sounds like events.
Wait. How are you
sounds like
confused
events to me.
when what's going on is also news of the past week?
No,
and
like what's going on is present and future tense to me.
No.
What
But
happened-
news is not. It's not relegated to one day. If what happened on Tuesday's or in Tuesday's newspaper is still relevant today, so we're letting people know what is happening in the past week and this coming weekend.
So then why do you have two different theme songs?
Because I'm not sure which one I like the most.
I think you're doing it just to confuse me is what you're doing.
Have you heard?
Have you heard? What's going on?
Have you heard that a building
also
crashed
sounds like
into?
events.
No,
Yeah, it does.
It is events.
See, but you
News
just said-
are
Yeah,
events.
but there's two separate things.
No.
There's events.
Listen, it's very simple. It's news and events. News is like, hey, a building caught on fire again last week because somebody crashed into it on Tuesday. We haven't seen these people since
Everybody's
Friday.
stealing my news today. What is going? No, I'm teasing. That's not really.
And then events
Okay.
is what's coming up this weekend, and that's when we play the other one.
Live this weekend where the action is.
You understand? It's the news segment, and underneath it is the weekend. Okay, the events, the news of the week since we last saw them, and then what's coming up this weekend.
Anyways,
this weekend.
My goal was to kill some time because there really wasn't a lot of news this past week, so
And we did it.
success. One of the more interesting news stories that came out of this week is, again, I'm going to get into a habit of not naming folks that are charged with crimes. I'm just going to...
That's a new thing that I've noticed that some people do. Why is that? Because it's in the paper.
But our justice system is based on innocent until proven guilty.
Well, can't you
right?
say
So,
allegedly?
I can, but I choose not to.
Is it because
I'm just not.
these people could potentially bump into us at the grocery store? It's not like a national story.
Yeah, no, I'm not even...
Like, would you say Alec Baldwin's name because he shot the woman?
Yeah, right. Because everybody knows that. I mean, right? And
Well, everybody
and it happened.
knows.
But he hasn't been charged with anything yet. You're just saying, like,
This
whatever.
is
This
just an
is like an
arrest.
allegation of actual criminal activity at this point. And I'm just...
This is
Let
a
me tell you
defense
what
attorney
happened.
and-
libel is a thing.
Yeah, let me tell you what
We don't have money to sue for.
Well, that's right. It's a joke on them, but it's in the newspaper.
It is in the newspaper. Yeah, I'm just choosing
So it's not
to...
libel. I mean, unless we say, and furthermore, this guy did this and that and the other thing.
Right.
But if it's in the paper,
No, and the paper can be wrong. I'm not saying that Gettysburg Times
often
ever
is wrong.
No,
well, not
but
the Times itself, often wrong, but the news in general is often wrong. So go ahead.
Right. So more specifically, I could go pull the criminal allegations, right? Like those are public documents if I chose to
Sure.
spend $10 or $15 to go get
Oh, do
a
you
copy.
have to
I
pay
don't-
for that?
I think so. I don't know. Let me put it this
Nope,
way.
you
Back in
don't.
Pittsburgh, you do.
Not here.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Even if it's not yours? If it's yours, I know you're entitled to a copy of it.
As long as you got a name and a birth date and a county.
But can you just Google it?
I'll show you how to pull it off the DOJ website later. I
Oh
used to have
no,
to do
no,
that for
no!
my
I know,
job.
no. I'm saying no. I know that. I know the.
I'm
I'm saying like the criminal,
You're not
the
looking for a
affidavit
docket.
that has the narrative of what the police are alleging. That's
Gotcha.
not listed publicly.
No, that's
right, and there's a reason for that, right? Like so.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's what happened allegedly, as reported by Officer Shannon Hilliard from the Gettysburg Police Department. So I want to try to get this.
I know why you're okay. Go.
I want to try to get this. No, it's not a DUI. I mean, that's.
Oh.
I know. All he ever arrests people for are
Yeah.
DUIs, but this is something different. I guess there must have been a slow day, or it was before last call or
you
something.
couldn't
I
wait
don't know.
outside a bar.
Right. So anyway, on October 14th, this is a really interesting thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two young ladies go to the pub on the square. Right.
Okay, pub on the
And
square. Yeah.
While they're there, apparently, one of them makes a phone call to the police and says, "Hey, I used to work here. I was supposed to get my last check. They're not giving me the last check. I want to press charges on them for theft of services. Yada yada yada." So he does a little bit of investigation. He calls the pub, and the pub says, "Well, yeah, we can confirm this lady did work here. She was supposed to meet with the manager earlier today to get her last check. she was late for the appointment. Manager left. She can come back tomorrow. But by the way, since you called, they're still here. We're about to close. It's getting like towards 9 o'clock. We've told them several times they need to leave. Like they're just loitering at this point. So he gets off the phone with the pub representatives. He calls back the one lady who's alleging that, she's not getting her money. So she says something to the effect, allegedly, of, well, I understand you're telling me to leave. I'm understanding that they're telling me to leave. What happens if I come back tomorrow with like a hammer, right? Like, so she's being goofy, right? So he goes, no, don't do anything stupid. Like, it's not worth it. You can get your check tomorrow. Just leave now.
It's a $33 check.
Right? No, well, I don't know. Yeah. So
it's not worth coming back with a hammer. Let's put it that way. Whatever
no,
it is.
I mean, never. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, he gets off the phone with that young lady, and then apparently a few minutes later, he gets a phone call from the pub again that there were customers inside that just witnessed one of the two young ladies go and grab the tip jar that was behind the bar while the bartender walked away.
Oh no!
Yeah, so it's just a stupid, right? I mean, especially if somebody worked there, you should know not only the video cameras, you should know you've already drawn attention to yourself. They're on high alert. So not only was there several $100s taken, there was also the bartender's keys and cell phone in this bucket. So now it's actual like theft of property on top of the money and all this other stuff. So long story short is it wasn't too it wasn't too hard to figure out who these two people were since they had proactively reached out to the police earlier. The money, the bucket was ultimately found, I believe, in Racehorse Alley, along with the keys and the cell phone. But the money was missing.
Okay. So they had no interest in the keys and the cell phone.
Right,
they just wanted the money. But they're stealing from not the establishment. They're stealing from the bartender.
Right.
Can I see that real quick?
Yeah.
Just for my own edification, I want to know who this person is.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I dated her.
I'm sure you did.
Nah, those ages.
Oh, and her too. Yeah, no, just this summer.
Teasing.
Yeah.
Well, while Matt's
they do have poor judgment, obviously, because they dated me. No, I don't know.
While you're going down memory lane, I'm going to move on to the next one.
Okay, go ahead.
So a little bit of bad news for our friends over at the Adams County Historical Society. Borough Council members met earlier this week to go over the upcoming budget. And apparently after initially approving tentatively, or at least considering a $5,000 donation to the Historical Society with their new building, there is now talk, there's not a final vote yet. There will be an actual final vote on the budget. But there was, at the request of the council president, there was a deletion. Deletion? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah, deletion. Didn't sound right when I said it. Deletion of the expenditure for the $5,000 donation. And some of the argument now is technically that building is not going to be within borough boundaries. It's literally going to be about
like 5 feet outside of the borough boundaries.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah.
But one council member suggested, well, maybe if we give $5,000, we can force them to put in a sidewalk. Well, that's not going to fly because that's not borough property, and Cumberland Township might not force them to do, but some council members are still saying, look, it's still going to residually bring in people. They're going to have, they're going to travel the 100 yards into our borough to spend money on housing, food, whatever.
Nope. Never happened.
Right, yeah, right.
Never happened.
So other council members are saying, look, tough shit. They moved out of the borough. They're not getting any money that should be helping the borough directly. So there's a final vote on it. I guess we'll keep our eye on it and see what happens. But apparently, originally, the Adams County Historical Society had asked and was actually pretty hopeful that the borough was going to give them $5,000 annually for the 5 coming years. And this is not like something out of the blue. This is not unusual. The county does, or I'm sorry, the borough does give different, like $40,000 to Main Street Gettysburg. It was up from $35,000 last year. Yeah. $4,500 for Rabbit Transit. It was up from $4,000 last year. $1,750 to the Adams County Arts Council, which was up from $0 last year. So they do have expenditures that they believe directly tie to bringing revenue and people into the borough. So we'll see what they end up deciding.
Yet it's so funny because they spend all this money and then every year they cry that they don't have any money. Yeah. And they say, well, we just got to raise the taxes. It's like, well, maybe
that's why I don't live in the borough.
Yeah. Maybe you should manage the money better. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I don't know. All right, so is the Adams County Historical Society getting anything from them?
No, that's what I'm saying.
They're not.
So I'm glad I do these news segments because Matt always listens to what I'm saying as I'm saying it. I've learned
very,
that.
Very, yes.
Does he?
No, the upshot is there will be a final vote, and it will be part of the final budget, and I guess that's when we'll find out what they decide to do.
Okay. All
So
right. Very good.
those are the only real news. The last thing, in keeping with I want to end on good news stuff. So about 6 weeks ago now, there was a woman that came to town on vacation, and she and her family were leaving, and when they were leaving, I guess one of the family members accidentally left the door cracked open at the Quality Inn, and a little dog got away.
Yes, this is happy news.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's really happy news because I'm a dog lover, and it's just, I think it shows what our area can do when we pull together, because there were a bunch of volunteers that helped make
I forgot
this a
to
happy
take.
ending.
We have the sign in the window over here. So.
Oh, do you? Oh, I didn't even see it. Yeah, Chewy.
Yeah.
So long story short, this little 5-year-old Shih Tzu Yorkie mix got away, and for 4 weeks, the poor thing was on its own.
Shit.
No,
but
Cam, not shit. Shiz. Shih Tzu. Go ahead. Sorry.
For 4 weeks, it was just running around the area. I mean, it was seen as far south, I guess, as like Hospital Road, and somewhere about 2.5 miles on Route 15 at one point. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it was like all over. But eventually, with help of folks from, I'm going to get this right because this is a great organization. It's called Find Toby in PA. They have a national presence, apparently, but they actually
Frame Toby?
Find.
Oh, Find.
Find Toby, named after a dog that was helped several years ago, being returned to their family. Now this organization, that's all they do, is they focus on trying to reunite lost animals with their owners. And they've been successful to the tune of 6,000 pets being returned with the assistance of more than 10,000 social media posts. So the specific one here in Gettysburg, I mean, it brought together people from the Park Service, people from the police department, people from just the neighborhood in general, putting up pictures and trying to, feed the dog originally, then trying to, basically not feed the dog in certain areas to try to get him lured into the traps that they set out. The humane traps were ultimately set out in the cemetery, Evergreen Cemetery. And several nights, the volunteers responded to, hopeful alerts that the trap was triggered. It was everything from a stray cat to a possum to a raccoon, everything.
Yeah.
But finally, in mid-October, Chewy went into the baited cage. There was some rotisserie chicken, which is pretty cool.
That'll get me.
Yeah, and clothing from his mom, right? So the scent of her and everything.
Oh.
So really, really good news. The owner was able to come back and get Chewy. He was a little worse for the wear. He had some medical issues. Obviously, being out on a house dog to fending for himself for 4 weeks took a toll. But he's getting better. He's slowly gaining his weight. The only thing that my understanding is that he's doing right now is just some eye drops for an eye infection that he developed. So the other piece of news is, obviously, if you had the signs or you saw them anywhere around the borough, the owner was offering a $500 reward for tips. And of course, the people that ultimately helped, they said, no, we don't want it. But now
I'll take it, folks.
She is going to donate that money to findtoby.com to help kind of pay it forward.
Well, I guess they should get it too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody did a lot of work, and it was happy news when it was on Facebook.
I have to say, I'm glad to hear that, because I remember when they came by and asked if they could put it up in the window, and I said, yeah, and I said, where'd you lose them? And they're like, oh, we were here a week ago. And it was somewhere around here, I think they said, and I was like, I haven't seen them at all. And I was, the longer time went on, and I just kept seeing the signs around town. I was like, oh, this poor little, they're hoping against hope. So I'm very glad to hear that they got them. I tried to help with a trap too, but I got a bear trap, and you don't want to see what ended up in that thing. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Well, he's applauding my effort to try.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good. Well, that is good news. I'm glad to hear that. I saw that in the paper yesterday. I'm like, I hope Veronica does this story, and you did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was great.
Let
all
a
right.
dog story go by.
So, what are you doing this weekend?
Honestly, this is
wait, do you have anything about the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Live this weekend where the action is.
So you're supposed to go when you're done with the news, and that's the news, and how about this weekend? And then I go,
Matt,
Live this weekend where the action is.
Don't bother
I said
trying to
the
reason.
final story is a happy one because I'm keeping
put up with you.
Oh my God.
I'm just busting you like you bust me. That's all.
Oh no, I'm not allowed to bust you, so I don't know.
You're allowed to bust me.
You're a little sensitive.
I'm not sensitive. I just don't understand how you don't understand very simple things. That's all.
Oh, okay,
I don't understand why it's so
Okay, Pot.
perplexing that you don't get how the
worry,
news
Veronica.
goes.
I live with somebody from New Jersey. I don't understand how they reason anything.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why, New Jersey and New York, that area's media is the best in the nation. It's because, we know
Because
that
they import all of the people that are doing the talking.
No, it's because we know that when you say, have you heard, it includes yesterday and tomorrow and all that other stuff. Have you heard? They found Chewy.
There's like a half a dozen counties in the entire United States that reasons that way.
Right, and he's also picking and choosing
And
what
none of them
language, because
are
it doesn't
anywhere
just
near
say "Have you heard?" Period. It says "Have you
Yeah.
heard what's happening?" Like coming, like
You
happening
do
right
you
now.
do realize that I got this. From a
Keep playing it.
from a
You can't do that,
1960s like nationally syndicated radio station that they would play that during or before the news breaks.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They used to play that when Edward R. Murrow came on when I was a child and I could watch Vietnam happen.
First of all, you're Edward R. Murrow. Please.
Whatever.
All right, you want me to play the rest?
No,
What?
forget it.
Have you heard what's going on in Gettysburg?
What's going on in
Veronica
Gettysburg
presents-
to me means like what's coming up, what's happening in
No,
Gettysburg.
that's coming
Yes.
up. Or live this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. Still, that makes me like,
Listen, all right, let me put it to you this way. On this show,
Yeah.
have you heard encompasses yesterday
Okay.
and fucking tomorrow, okay? Now you got me to break my
Oh
no
my
F
God,
word
the
rule.
the toupee's
Give me this
falling
thing.
off.
Give me this thing.
All right. So what's coming up this weekend?
Yes.
So Trey was actually kind enough to touch on this. Tomorrow, Saturday, from 9 to 5, and Sunday from 9 to 2, the Autumn Gettysburg Military Collectors Show is at the Eisenhower Complex. And it's actually the 20th annual one, from what I'm understanding. So it's been going on for quite some time.
What was the one that we went to, Eric?
It was the spring show.
But it's the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
They hold it.
That's a pretty cool show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, they said there's like 500. I forget if it was 500 tables or 500 vendors.
It's like
but
a
it's
warehouse
yeah.
full of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and
enormous.
everything from like French and Indian War the whole way up to like current.
yeah.
You know, I mean, like way.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, cool.
I mean, they were even when we were there. Remember, did you see those like Turkish or Middle Eastern looking muskets with those curved?
Oh, Giselles.
Is that what they're called?
It's called a Giselle. Yeah.
Giselle. I thought that was a type of deer.
I thought that was
an
Tom
Afghan
Brady's
thing.
wife.
I thought it was a supermodel.
Yeah.
I think that's Giselle,
Oh, Giselle.
and you're thinking of a gazelle. But these are Giselles.
Give me that gazelle. I want to shoot this guy.
What is that?
Casket key.
Oh, get out of here! Oh my
Supposed to be a
God.
nipple wrench, but it turned out to be a casket key.
Casket key.
For where did you get this?
The Civil War show.
A casket key. There it is.
That's how you bolt vampires into their metal box.
Yeah.
It's supposed
Get
to
in
be a
there.
nipple wrench, but
What's that?
it was supposed to be a nipple wrench, but it didn't fit any of the nipples of the.
Right, the muskets. Yeah.
Then I realized it's a casket key.
Casket key.
That's interesting.
That is pretty cool. So that would, if you
I'm into
guys go out,
They used to be. They used to be like primarily Civil War. It used to be up until a few years ago. Honestly, it was the spring and fall Civil War show.
Yeah.
And people kind of lost interest in collecting Civil War. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's a lot of World
It's
War
getting
II
old.
stuff now. So there's a lot of World War II stuff at the show.
I have to just chime in. I happened to glance at the comments, and I have some support. So thank you guys. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Michael.
I agree. I always agreed with you.
Thank you, Eric.
Have you heard what's going on in Gettysburg?
If all right, the next time something happens, I see you, and the next time something happens 2 days ago,
Did you hear? Not have you
my-
heard what's
what's
going
the-
on? Did you hear what happened? Past tense. That's news. Like that's
but have you heard is just as
what's
it's the
going
same
on.
thing as
Quit saying just a part of it. Quit saying just the part. Have you heard what's going on? Like that to me that's the whole
things
thing.
are
is,
currently
So
happening.
what-
The news
yes.
is stuff that's already done.
happened, right?
Not always, because sometimes the news is like, "Hey, this is the new thing that's
but
going
the news
on."
Isn't the stuff that's like tomorrow.
So if somebody says
Right,
to you,
can't
"What's
predict
going
what's gonna
on?"
happen. Yeah.
What's going on?
Present.
Present. Thank you.
Only the present. Go ahead, Owen.
That's what that
Go
means.
ahead. Only the present. It can't be like, well, last week I had blah, 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 blah. You mean if somebody says to you, what's going on? They never say, well, last week. Well, I'm not going to tell you what happened to me last week because you said what's going on, which is the present. So I'm just going to say, well, nothing's going on today. But since you didn't say what happened to you last week, like how ridiculously specific are we going to get on this goddamn show?
I can't even
simple.
remember what the hell we're arguing about at this point.
Have you heard what's going on in Gettysburg? Well, Veronica Prestonski, Esquire, has the scoop.
Anyway, all right.
Things that are happening, you know?
Yeah.
Coming up.
Things that happened yesterday are still going on today. Do you understand that?
No, they're not.
No,
they
no.
happened
Yes, they
yesterday.
are.
That's
No.
not how time works.
No. Things that are going.
pipes made of lead
Oh wait, hold on.
Things that happened 30
Hold on a
seconds ago
second.
aren't
Hold on.
happening
All
now.
right, enough. I'm muting you, and I'm getting to Veronica because this is with you. You think that story about the Adams County Historical Society thing, just because what day was that in? Thursday, Wednesday,
That's
couple days ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
It was in the paper on the 27th. I
So
think it
on the-
happened on the 26th. And there will be another meeting in the future.
So that's not going on.
It's not going on. It's not. That was.
That is an ongoing situation.
But the council removed it from the draft budget at a certain time in the past.
But they're going to revisit it.
They're going to vote on that budget. I guess.
So
they
there's
could
going to be
potentially-
something, which means it's ongoing. It's not dead from a couple days ago.
Right, and when it happens again, it'll be news again because you can't predict what's going to happen. Like that, you sold this to me as being, come tell us what happened in the news, and also keep the viewers informed about what's going on. Like if they're coming, if they're local or they're coming here, what can they expect to do this week?
So then this should be the intro.
It's been a wall.
It's time for all that's going on in Gettysburg. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica
I like
Prestonski.
that. Oh, lead anchor. Yeah, hell yeah. I want that one. That's the one I want.
I
Yeah.
played this.
Possible information.
I played that for you 4 weeks ago when I first made it, and you go, "No, I like the other one better."
No, I don't remember saying that.
I
I remember currently what's going on right now is I'm saying I want that now. It's been a wall.
honestly, I do like the music on this one better too. You know.
Yeah. It's been a wall.
It's time for all that's going on in Gettysburg. Here's AG Today's lead
I
anchor,
like that.
Veronica
I like
Prestonski
that.
with
All
news,
that's
traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions.
Sidewalk
and what's happening
conditions.
this weekend.
I must have all possible
All right.
information.
So anyway,
there we
some more.
go.
So real quick, thank you, Alex.
You're
Somebody
welcome.
else jumped on the bandwagon. All right. So in addition to the military show,
I'm banning those people from this page, by the way. You're playing the wrong game, people. I'm telling you.
So on Sunday, it is the last Association of Licensed Battlefield Guide Fall Tours. Ralph Siegel is going to be presenting Gunfight at the Peach Orchard from 2 to 5.
Okay.
So as always, you got to sign up in advance, and you can do that at GettysburgTourGuides.com. This Saturday is also the last farmers market for the season.
I know.
So I'm planning on being there to stock up on some apple cider and some other goodies. So hopefully we will see you there between 8 and 1. I am super, I don't know, maybe I'm just like way a dork about this, but I'm super excited about this news. So the National Park Service put out an announcement that the David Wills House is going to be open only on certain days in November. So they're reopening it. Now, it's weird hours. It's 1 to 5 all of the following days. So it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
The first week in November, so 4th,
Next
5th,
week.
and 6th. 11th, 12th, and 13th, and 18th, 19th, and 20th for Remembrance and Dedication Day weekend.
Got
so
it.
it's just the 3 weekends, the first 3 weekends in November, Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., but the David Wills House will be open, I think, for the first time since COVID.
Yeah.
And it's free.
They're
They
not
used to
used to
charge
they used to charge
if
an
you weren't a
extra
member.
ticket price. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's free.
But I know
Good.
in years
Now I'll
past
go.
they've been open on like light up night. I guess they're not doing that this year.
I don't know if it says open for special November 2021 dates only in capital letters. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Have you ever been in there?
Oh yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah. No. I think it's you got to.
I want to go, but I haven't been in
I don't know if they've done
because
any
I had to pay.
renovations
Now
to
that
it.
now that it's free, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
My tax
Yay! So also coming up this week, we talked with Pete Mealy about their 24 hours on Seminary Ridge from 5 p.m. November 4th through 5 p.m. on the 5th, which is Friday. There's a whole litany of things you can check out. So just go to their website and there's a big old list of what you can expect at different times.
I'm looking forward to this. It'd be like a slumber party at the seminary.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hang with you guys for the movie, but I'm definitely going to come in the evening.
But you got to work the next day, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I can't even make it through the movie, to be honest with you, in one sitting.
What?
I can't.
Really?
Sorry, no, I can't.
That's fair. I can't watch it all in one shot anymore either.
And then definitely not at midnight. And on hard benches, no, I can't.
If I'm being honest, I haven't watched it in one shot since I was 20.
All right.
So,
So anyway, in line with, I guess, the giving spree, the Adams County Historical Society is also doing a specialty event on November 4th. Now, this is just online, but pretty exciting. Sue Boardman, Tim Smith, and Bill Frazanito are going to be fielding questions regarding battlefield photography. So pretty darn cool. I'm assuming Adams County Historical Society will be accepting donations.
It's at like 7 p.m.
7 p.m. online. Their events normally go, Their events normally go about an hour and a half. So to get Bill Frazanito there and be able to maybe ask him a question that you've...
Is he there or is it remote? Like,
they will be present and transmitting the broadcast from Adams County Historical Society. So they will be sitting together, from my understanding, Sue, Tim, and Bill. So pretty cool, yeah.
Very nice, yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Good.
So maybe I'll catch that and then head over to the seminary. I think that's my plan for Thursday night.
All right.
And then just real quick, guys, if you were planning on coming in a little bit later in the month, Dedication Day, there is a 10:15. The ceremony at the rostrum is featuring Dr. Gary Gallagher this year. As always, they're going to have a U.S. naturalization and citizenship ceremony as part of that. And then the next day, there's the Remembrance Day Parade at 1 p.m. That's the 20th. And also the Remembrance Day illumination, weather permitting, and hoping that nothing happens more with COVID. Weather and COVID permitting, 5:30 to 9 p.m., there will be a luminaire lighting up all of the 3,512 Civil War graves.
Don't forget also, November 19th, we will be recording an Ask a Guide with Gary Edelman and Timothy Smith.
Yeah. So let me ask, how is that going to work? Because are we not doing a live show that day?
No,
we're going to do it Thursday that week. Yeah.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too.
This is how I get my information.
You got to ask for it.
But okay.
So we're doing that with them. And it's on what? The history of the park, Eric?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the history of the park.
Yep.
Awesome.
Should be interesting. And then also, speaking of Tim Smith, I know we're in the What's Coming Up segment of the news here, but you didn't mention something that you went to last night, which looked really cool, and that was the Gettysburg in Color presentation that Tim did on one of those death traps on the square.
No, so in conjunction with the Arts Council, the little, what they call the Oasis, that one of those little built-out... Parklets, yeah, outside
death
of...
traps.
Adams County National Bank, and also the Plowman Cider, that little quadrant. Yeah. It was really cool. It was only about an hour long. So there's some technology that they use to colorize old photography, and not all, but most of the pictures that they showed were pretty much taken from in and around the square. There were some, out on the field and everything, but it was pretty darn neat. And I hope they do stuff like that again, because it was a nice crowd live, and there were also apparently, I think Andrew Dalton announced that when we got started, there was over 100 people watching online.
Oh yeah, they always get huge numbers when they do a Facebook
It was really neat.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they do that more like in the spring and summer, and like all throughout the good weather seasons, because that's really cool. That is a neat thing to do out there.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of it on Facebook this morning, and it looked really interesting.
Yeah.
Tim's great. I mean, everybody loves Tim.
Oh yeah.
Except for the people that don't love Tim, but which is like, well, it's small people that are jealous of Tim. Like Gary hates him.
That's not true.
No, it's not true. No, people who are jealous of Tim, they hate him because they ain't him. Right? But we loved him because we see how wonderful and funny he is.
Yeah.
But also, he knows everything. Who do I call when I have a question? Somebody asked me a question the other day on Instagram. It's Ghost, yeah. Answer Busters. No, and I said, I'm like, this person asked me this question. I must give it an answer. And I tried to Google it because it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I'm not getting out of my bed and going through my books. Couldn't find the answer on Google, so who do I call? Tim Smith. I text him.
Yeah.
I ask him a question. Next morning, first thing in the morning, he answers me, and I go, "Here's your answer."
Oh,
Tim
neat.
Smith gave it to me.
Yeah.
So Tim Smith is great, and it just everybody loves his style. We're going to do some stuff with Tim over the winter.
Oh, nice.
He's got he's going to do his lectures again at the
Is he?
Farnsworth House.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, I hadn't. Okay.
So we're going to record those again.
Nice.
And we'll release those on the free feed. And then we have to have a meeting with Libby over there at the Farnsworth House, but we're looking to do a live Ask a Guide from the tavern
From
in the
somewhere.
Farnsworth.
Historic Sweeney
Yeah,
Tavern. Yes.
and we just got to iron out the details of that. And there will be a cover for that, though, of course. But you're going to get dinner and you're going to get drinks and all that stuff. And then, of course, the biggest part of the show afterwards is autograph signing with
I love
Veronica.
how you jumped the gun on all of this stuff.
No.
We were going to announce this, but we haven't even talked to anybody.
I have
involved
not
yet.
announced anything. I said these are in the works.
That's
and
going to charm his way into making it a reality.
here's the well, I already talked to Libby. We just have to sit down and talk about it. Here's the thing. I'm going to do it. You may not have the gumption to do it. I'll do it.
I do.
Yeah. Well,
But
then
we haven't talked to anybody else about it yet.
Just show up one day with all the equipment. We're here. Lou's going to be like, what?
if you build it, they will come. You understand? If you build it, they will come. We're on a runaway train over here at Addressing Gettysburg. You either hop on or you get run over by it.
are on
That's
a
how it
runaway
goes.
train here.
Okay, so you join us, or I don't even want to talk about what happens if you don't join us. All right. Anyway,
You don't join us.
yeah, you probably have a pretty sane and normal life. Anyway, we're gonna get going. Thanks for clapping, Owen. Thanks, Trey. Thanks for Pete Mealy for coming over. Thank you all for listening, and hope you have a good week. Oh, thanks, Andy, for the nuts. That's right. You always have great nuts. Talk to you later.
Singing with a spirit that will start the world along. Sing it as we used to sing it, 50,000 strong. While we were marching through Georgia.
I have a hard time with names sometimes.
We bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, the flag that makes us free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea. While we were marching through Georgia.
Here we go.
There were many Union men who joined the tears when they saw the honored flag they had not seen for years. Hardly could they be restrained from breaking forth in cheers while we were marching through Georgia. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes us free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea while we were marching through Georgia.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Alderston, Protestant.
Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes us free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea while we were marching through Georgia. So we made a thoroughfare for freedom and her train. 60 miles of latitude, 300 to the main. Treason fled before us, no resistance was in vain. While we were marching through Georgia. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea. While we were marching through Georgia.
If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a chicken. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a chicken.